Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing? We are starting a new book, and this one is called The Badger and the Fan, and it is written by Janine Scott. The genre for this one is folktale. Let's take a look at this picture. I always encourage you guys to take a look at the picture. Now, you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but the cover art can tell you a lot about what to expect in the book. So it looks like a mom, maybe, or grandma, possibly, offering the children some yummy treats, maybe. One of them has their tongue out, so it looks like it's going to be delicious. All right, these have our vocabulary words: attracted, dazzling, fabrics, greed, honest, requested, sore, and trudged. The strategy is ask and answer a question. So make sure when you're listening to the story that you are paying close attention to the story because there are going to be questions at the end. The skill is theme, so we're going to determine what the theme is. The theme of the story is the message, okay? And being that this is a folktale story, it's going to have uh, a lesson attached to it. The vocabulary strategy is root words. So we're going to be looking for those words that have a root word to it. And you can change the meaning of a root word by adding a prefix in the front or a suffix in the back of the word, and we will discuss that in class as well. Okay, ELL vocabulary is cunning and transform. All right, let's get into our story. There are 3 chapters, and let's get into chapter 1. Fun in the forest. Long ago, 3 Tengu children lived in a bamboo forest in Japan. The Tengu children were little and had very long noses. Their noses wiggled when they laughed. The Tengu children were playful. They liked to have fun all the time. The Tengu children had a favorite toy. It was a beautiful silk fan. The fan had paintings of pink cherry blossoms. The Tengu children fanned themselves. Then they rolled on the ground and laughed. The fan was not ordinary. It was a magic fan. The fan could change the children's noses. When the children fanned their noses with one side of the fan, their noses grew longer. When they fanned their noses with the other side of the fan, their noses returned to their original size. The Tinkle children played with the fan for many hours. They played until their stomachs hurt from laughing. So this is a Tengu child, this is the fan, and this is their long noses. Look at their shoes. And they're rolling on the ground. How cute. One day, a badger heard the Tengu children laughing. He hid behind a rock and watched the children make their noses grow and shrink with the magic fan. The badger thought, that fan could be very useful. I want a magic fan. The badger thought about all the things he could do with the magic fan. He decided to steal the fan from the Tengu children. The badger was cunning. He had special powers. He could change into any shape or form. He could transform into a cherry blossom, a tall mountain, a flea, or a giant. He decided to transform into a human. Oh my goodness. Look at this lady. She has a pretty sandals, a kimono. There are cranes on her kimono, and she has her hair in a bun. The badger changed into a woman. Oh man, so this is not just any woman. This is the badger. And look there. Is that a tail? Hmm. The badger changed into a woman. He wore a long red kimono. The kimono was painted with beautiful white cranes. He wore white socks and red sandals on his feet. The badger's black shiny hair was tied in a bun. He wore flowers and a comb in his hair. The badger looked just like a young Japanese woman. So the picture of the woman that we thought we were looking at, the woman on the cover, was in fact the badger. Oh my goodness. The badger trudged towards the Tengu children. He walked like a human. He carried a plate with 4 sweet buns. I think a sweet bun would probably taste like a honey bun, maybe? I don't know. Hello, said the badger to the Tengu children. Would you like some buns? They are delicious. The Tengu children love sweet buns. They each grabbed a bun and ate it. There was one bun left on the plate. Who will eat the last bun? The Tengu children asked. All right, language detectives. The word plate is a common noun. What is another common noun on this page? Mm, we'll see. The Tingle children argued about who would eat the last bun. The badger suggested the children have a contest. The badger requested that the children close their eyes and hold their breath. The winner would get the last bun. The Tingle children squeezed their eyes shut and took a deep breath. Each child wanted to win the bun, so no one peeked. While the children's eyes were closed, the cunning badger took the fan and disappeared into the bamboo forest. Let's stop and check. What do the Tengu children like to do? We'll see. Okay, so they closed their eyes shut, and the badger and the fan took off into the forest. Chapter 2, Badger's Trick. The badger laughed. Ha ha ha! It was easy to trick the Tengu children. The honest Tengu children shouldn't have trusted a stranger like the badger. The badger traveled through the forest. Soon he saw a house. Inside the house, he saw a dazzling sight. A pretty girl wore a beautiful kimono made with the finest fabrics. She had long black hair and a very small nose. She was the daughter of the richest man in Japan. The badger's greed helped him think of a plan. He crept up behind the girl. Then the badger fanned her nose with the magic fan. Suddenly, the girl's nose grew by a yard, and she screamed. Oh no! Oh, poor girl. Look at her nose. So the father is taking a look. He's looking very concerned. And there's a doctor. There's another lady and a gentleman in the corner. Looks like a little baggie there. Let's see. This story is getting good. The girl's father heard the girl scream. He ran to see her. The girl's father was shocked. His daughter's nose was as long as a stalk of bamboo. He demanded that the best doctors in Japan come immediately. The doctors did not know how to return the girl's nose to its normal size. The girl's father was rich and powerful, but he felt powerless. He needed someone to help his daughter. The news of the girl's long nose spread quickly. Some people gathered at his house. The father announced, I will give half of my fortune to anyone who can help my daughter. The badger had been hiding behind a maple tree. His plan worked perfectly. I can fix your daughter's nose, the badger said. Mm-mm-mm. That badger is up to something. The father was shocked to hear a badger talk. However, he was willing to try anything to solve his daughter's problem. He quickly led the badger to the girl's room. The badger took out the magic fan and fanned the girl's nose. The girl's nose shrank to its normal size. The girl smiled with joy. Thank you. You have fixed my daughter's nose. As a reward, I will give you half of my fortune, the father said. The badger smiled. He would be very rich. What happened to the girl? Who was responsible? We know the answer to that question. Chapter 3, In the Clouds. Finally, it was the day for the badger to receive his fortune. He dressed in his best clothes. He wore a black kimono jacket and gray silk pants. He carried a folded fan. It was a hot day. The badger's black kimono attracted the sun's heat. Soon he felt sleepy. He went to the garden and lay on the bench. He was hot. The badger began to fan himself. The breeze on his face felt nice. The sleepy badger had forgotten that he was using the magic fan. He didn't realize that his nose was getting longer and longer. The badger's nose grew so long that it extended past the roofs of all the houses and the trees. It soared higher than a mountain. His nose soared into the sky and up to the clouds. Language detective. Is mountain a common noun or a proper noun? We can find a proper noun on page 9. Remember, we've talked about common nouns and proper nouns. What is mountain? Let's take a look at this picture. There's a picture of a mountain there, clouds, trees. There's the fountain, and there's the bench, and the sleepy badger. Up in the clouds, workers were building a bridge across the Milky Way. Suddenly, they saw the badger's nose appear through the clouds. This will make a perfect pole for our bridge, a worker exclaimed. They grabbed the nose and pulled as hard as they could. Ouch! 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 The badger shouted. The badger woke up. His nose felt painful. In a flash, the badger realized what had happened. He frantically waved the fan, but it was too late. He was being pulled up. In other words, quickly. And Espanol in a flash is, ooh, I can't pronounce that. But for those who speak Espanol, you have the meaning therefore quickly. The workers pulled his nose one more time. The badger flew into the sky, and no one ever saw the badger again. Up in the clouds, the badger wished he had not been greedy. He wished he had never tricked the 10 good children or the beautiful girl. Let's stop and check. What did the badger do? What lesson did he learn? Remember, folk tales and fables. It's always a message attached. All right, we have some responding to reading. We will be doing this graphic organizer in the class. These are the clues. We will come up with 3 clues and the theme. Remember, theme means what is the message? I will put these questions in Canvas. Make sure you answer them and submit your answers for a grade. Text evidence. Remember, whenever you're answering a question, you must always have evidence to prove and support your answer. Number 1, how do you know the story is a folk tale? Identify 2 features that tell you this. Okay? Number 2, how does the badger learn his lesson? Make sure you include details from the story. That's the theme. Number 3, what is the root word of powerful on page 10? Remember, if you take full off of powerful, there you will find your root word. Remember, the full is the suffix in the word. We will talk more about root words this week. What other word on this page has the same root? Number 4, write about how the badger's plan helps communicate the message of the story. Describe what the badger wanted, how he got it, and what happened to him in the end. Make sure you use descriptive words and elaborate on in your answer. Okay? Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. The following story will be The Fox and the Cat. I can't wait to read all about that one. That one is a fable. And fables and folk tales, you'll learn a lesson, a message afterwards. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I'll see you in class. Have a great one. Bye.